And we are live, cooking with fire tonight. Hello, I'm Eric Eisenbud, the Grateful Chef. Welcome to my outdoor kitchen, the outdoor kitchen of the Grateful Chef. Imagine that. Yes, it's great to see you. I am grateful for you guys to be here as usual. Anyone here for the first time, please chime in. Let us know you're there. Say hello. Anyone who's back, welcome back. We love doing this each and every week, and this week is no exception. We got a lot of great things going on tonight. We are doing amazing bison skirt steak fajitas. We're making Pico de Gallo. We're making guacamole from scratch. That's how we do here in my kitchen. And I want to talk a little bit about, before we get to cooking, about Fossil Farms, Boonton, New Jersey. They have supported us and offered us this beautiful bison skirt steak tonight. So I want to say thanks to Lance for hooking us up with this great product. And I want to talk a little bit about Fossil Farms. They ship nationally, and they have been in the wild game meat business for a very long time here in New Jersey. And American Dream started small. Now they have an enormous warehouse with an enormous offering of not just game meat, but sustainable and all natural meat products, beef and pork and poultry. And they've got burgers, sausages, hot dogs. They do jerky. They have cured meats. Of course, they have their exotic kangaroo, yak, camel, alligator, reptiles. All cool, excellent wild game meats. And all responsibly harvested from awesome suppliers. They have ostrich and emu, and of course bison, as we're having tonight. They also do some farm-raised game, elk, venison, wild boar, and they have a whole slew of game birds, including but not limited to quail, pheasant, guinea hen, squab, Scottish game, grouse, wild hare, wild pheasant, pigeon. You name it, they got it. If you pick up the phone to call them at 973-917-3155, I'm sure the customer service folks there, top notch. They will answer any of your questions. And of course, you can go to www.fossilfarms.com, see all their offerings, make an order. And if you're in New Jersey, or if you're riding through New Jersey in the Boonton area, they do have a retail store. That's awesome. They've got everything there. They're also offering plat du jour, which is plate of the day, and you can go in there and get some pre-made foods. They've also got a product called hop salts. That is my buddy Tim Schaefer's salts using hops, all different ones. Got to try the black garlic. It's phenomenal. Yeah, and so these guys are great. They partner with some really amazing farmers, and their quality, top notch. So definitely check out Fossil Farms for, change your barbecue game a little bit. All right, before I get started, I just want to dump these coals. I've got a full chimney full of charcoal. I'm putting them on one side of the grill. Look at that. That is absolutely ripping hot. I'm hopefully not burning down the neighbor's house. God forbid. We're going to put our grill on. I'm going to put the lid on. We're going to get this grill nice and hot. But I'm also going to put on my cast iron skillet. That's going to go on the cool side of the grill, if there is one. I'm just going to let that warm up with the coals. We'll close this a little bit. All right, fantastic. Do we have any people saying hello before I get started on the Pico?
I know. Yes. We've got, I know Jay is with us. Saw that a second ago.
All right.
And Caesar Sperduto.
Hey, C's. Caesar's been in my outdoor kitchen.
He says, looks like a luau with the fire. All you need is a lay.
Of course, thank you.
We have Donna Owen from Montreal.
Hello.
Tammy May. And Jay said, can't wait to see us.
Awesome. Fantastic. All right, so first we're doing pico de gallo. It's basically a fresh tomato, onion, cilantro, a little jalapeno pepper. I have this amazing Mexican market near me. I know how lucky I am. I can get red jalapenos. I can get amazing, all these ingredients. Their cilantro is amazing. The tomatoes are great. And what I did to the tomatoes is, oh, Sophie just called me. Hi, I'm live, gotta go. Sorry about that. So what I did with the tomatoes, it's a cool concept. You dice them really fine, and I put them in a bowl and I sprinkled them with about a tablespoon of salt, and then you put them in a strainer or a colander, and for about 30 minutes you let them leach out some of their water so they become a little bit dry. There is a little liquid in the bottom, but not much. It also seasons the tomatoes. So to the tomatoes, I am going to add onions, and I did a fine dice on a nice white onion. White onion's the mildest onion available, so it's good for stuff like this so you don't get that raw onion in your face. Gonna mix this up a little bit. This is pretty much like a simple, it's almost like a salad, you know? So mix that up a little bit. We are going to add the chilies. Now these are red jalapenos. I tasted them. They're really not that hot, so we're gonna go ahead and, but they're not hot at all. I was a little disappointed in the flavor.
I won't be.
Yeah, and of course cilantro, which is the kind of parsley of Mexico, and it's really aromatic. And I know that there's a debate. You know, some people love it. Either you love it or you hate it. It's a, I guess you learn, you learn to like it. I love it. It is just, it adds just a depth of flavor to dishes like this pico de gallo. And this is pretty much it. We're gonna put this in a bowl, a different bowl, and this is just gonna go on the fajitas as we eat them. Really awesome.
As you're doing that, we also have Mike Johnson. He says hello, hello.
Hello, Mike.
And Jason Blaylock.
Excellent. Thanks for joining in, guys. All right, so we're gonna put this in the bowl. Fantastic. It's gonna go on the table where our guests are seating.
Ooh, our lovely guests.
Our lovely return guests, Sherry and Mark.
Hello, lovely guests.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I think we're the most regular.
They are
Yes.
the most regular.
Come back.
We love it here.
All right. What's not to love? All right. So we have, I'm going to bring this up to you guys just to show you this delicious pico de gallo. If you can see, there it is.
There it is.
Beautiful. It's a little washed out from the light, but there you go. That's going on the table to eat with our fajitas. And anyone want to chomp on a red jalapeno? There you go. Oh.
We also have Sam Mann with us. He said, "You're making me so damn hungry, I can't stand it."
Sam, you gotta come back.
Yes.
Sam has been here. All right. So we've got our fire. The grill is warmed. I have that cast iron skillet in here. In these packages, I have some corn and wheat tortillas. And then this is just a regular flour tortilla. I'm going to put them in that cast iron skillet just to warm them up. Just like so. And I'll flip them around just like that. Beautiful thing. And we're going to get to cooking our steak. I need to bring that pico de gallo back because I just realized I forgot a key ingredient.
Oh, darn it. Cilantro?
For me, no. Lime juice. Can't have lime. Can't have it without lime juice. So yes, I apologize. This is going to make a dressing with that tomato water. It's going to add about a tablespoon. Let that soak in, and then of course I'm going to need lime juice for the guac. So there you go. Mix that up. Now we are cooking with gas. All right. Off comes the lid. Oh yes, we got heat. And I am going to put on the steak. Now this steak, let me get you the right proper ingredients here. This steak has been marinating since this morning. So you want to go at least 3 hours. You could go up to 10 hours. when I was consulting the Serious Eats recipe that I saw, that's what they recommend, and they do all that intense testing. So you don't want it to go more than 10 hours because it can get really change the texture of the meat. So this is marinated in soy sauce and lime juice, some canola oil, brown sugar, ground cumin, black pepper, chili powder, and some nicely minced garlic. And that's been going for about 8 hours. So we're going to throw this on the hot grill. I've got a couple of nice long pieces here. We're going to talk about cutting skirt steak. Because a lot of people cut it with the grain. And when you're talking about skirt steak, that is not the proper way. So we're throwing that on, looking awesome. And I got a couple of small little pieces here. We'll start tossing them around. How's that looking, babe?
Beautiful.
And who is that babe I refer to?
The voice behind the camera?
You know that is our camera woman, our producer, and the wind beneath my wings, Lynn. Thank you, Lynn, as always. All right, so we've got the steaks on. We are throwing the lid back on. I'm going to give these tortillas a quick little turn. We're going to cover that. Now we're getting to our guacamole. So this is very simple indeed. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to place the onion into my mortar and pestle. This is a nice stone. I think it might be lava. It's pretty cool. That's going in. We are going to do the cilantro. This is about a half a cup of cilantro that I split. So I chopped some to make the paste a little easier. We are going to put in some salt, kosher salt, about a teaspoon. Nice, you know, that's going to act as an abrasive. And we are going to...
And I still have to measure using a measuring spoon.
Yes. Now for this recipe I am using a serrano pepper. It's a long, thin green pepper like that. We're going to put that in. I did one, and we're going to get pounding. I'm going to put all this down. Don't make any noise.
And we also have Stephanie Russo-Kowalik. She said she made it just in time.
Ah, hello Stephanie. Alright, so we're basically going to get this going into a paste. You've got that, you know, the juice from the onion is going to help lubricate a little bit. We've got the salt that's going to act as that abrasive, and we're really, the mortar and pestle that I'm using, and a lot of mortar and pestles that are like stone like this, require a pounding action rather than a mixing, stirring. So you pound it to get all this stuff broken down. You always get some jumpers. Oh, look at that. That's going to be awesome. So I cut the onion. It said to cut them coarse. I tried to cut them a little bit smaller to facilitate this action. Looks like we got some good smoke coming out of that grill. Awesome. Do we have any questions?
No questions right now. Just hungry people.
All right. So this technique that I'm doing for the fajitas. Now, we've all been to a Tex-Mex restaurant, and you know, if you're there early, like the first people there or whatever, you know, and people are looking at the menu and you don't know, you know, what are you going to get? What are you going to get? And inevitably, what walks past your table is a sizzling platter and the wafting smell of cooking meat and peppers and, you know, onions and stuff like that. And that is great. You know, I guarantee you that that restaurant will sell a dozen more plates of fajitas just by the waiter walking through the restaurant in a methodical path to pass as many tables where people are still looking at the menu. And unfortunately, what it also does is that sizzling platter also overcooks your meat. So being a stickler for quality, I decided not to do the sizzling platter.
Although I do like that sizzling noise and the smell and everything else. He turned me down.
Maybe you could just do it walk around.
We'll have the extra plate out there with just for the sizzle
All right, we got
instead.
a nice paste starting to happen. It does take a little bit of time, but it's worth it for this guacamole. And it's cool because the cilantro has turned the onions a beautiful green color. And hopefully this is not too noisy for you folks.
It's pretty noisy.
Uh-oh. But there's nothing you can do. Sometimes you got to deal
With the noise.
to make a meal. You know what I mean? Deal to make a meal.
Oh yeah.
Richard Simmons.
Deal a meal. That's right. That's funny. All right.
So you mash all that up, and then you.
Then this paste is going to go into the bowl with the avocado.
Huh.
Scrape it down. A lot of cuisines do use a mortar and pestle, and Asian cuisine. I know that Puerto Rican cuisine uses it to make mofongo. You know, they pound it down, pound it down.
Can you show
Let's
that
see.
to the camera so they can see what you've done?
Let me see what we got going on over here. Woo! Look
Yes.
at that.
So tonight I'm tethered to our Ethernet cable, so I
Nice.
can't get in nice and close as I normally do.
I'm going to flip these steaks a little bit. And it's a series of flip and char and flip and char. I need to open up my vent just a little bit on the bottom
And why is that?
because that's going to create a little bit more heat. Nice. Got a nice couple of char on here. I'm going to flip these over. What's cool about doing the tortillas in the foil is that it keeps them from crisping. It just keeps them nice and moist and pliable. All right. Let that go.
Oh, wow, it smells good.
Continue to mash. All right. I'm going to let this go.
A lot of people that use that for fresh spices too, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Sure.
I
All right,
believe he uses
so-
it when he makes my chai.
I've got 4 beautiful ripe avocados over here. One of the cool things about having a Mexican market is every single avocado in the place is ripe, which is unlike American markets where most of them are not ripe. So we're going to dispatch these. Of course, there's a big seed in the middle. Just want to cut it around, open it up, pop out the seed, give it a little twist. And that's it. I'm using a gadget. Not too big of a fan of single-use gadgets, but this one actually works really well. You can adjust to the size of the avocado, and it's a good way to just get it all out. And it's a little bit easier than peeling the avocado. So you just got to scrape it. And what it does is as it scoops it out, it slices it, which is going to make it easier to whip up the avocado to make the guac. All right, beautiful. Real simple. Let's go. We got
Can you-
3 more.
Can you show how you took the seed out?
Yep. Want me to do it close up?
Yep.
All right, here we go, people.
Close
Coming up, coming up.
Close-ups today. They can
All
see
right.
your avocado
Nice.
and your hand.
All right, so we're cutting down into the seed, and I'm just twisting the avocado around the knife. Give it a little twist. You've got half with the seed, half without. And you're just going to take your knife, put it into the seed like that, and give it a twist. And there you go. You got your seed.
Thank you.
Very, very simple. Thanks for asking me to do that. All right.
And Tom Delia.
Delia, that's correct.
Do I normally screw it up?
Yeah, you usually call him Delia, but Tommy Delia.
Okay. So he said, are you using a standard tortilla shell or something special?
I am using 2 different kinds. One is made of corn with a little bit of wheat in there, and I am using a straight up flour tortilla. So, good question. Nothing fancy about it. This is definitely not a fancy meal. except for the Bison component, which is kicked it up just a little bit. So,
No, I'm thinking the tableside guac is pretty fancy too.
okay,
Yeah.
it is fun. It's
It's
you know,
fresh.
it's so much better than store bought, because really, as soon as you break open the avocado, it starts to degrade. So, you know, this is definitely, you know, make your own. It's a lot better. And it's healthier. There's no preservatives. One last avocado. One other cool other trick you can see, if you want to check to see if an avocado is ripe. Can you see this? Yes. Is there's the stem in the end. If you pop that stem off in the store while you're looking for avocados, if it's totally green, it's not ripe. If it's totally like dark, it's pretty ripe. This is right in the middle, so it's perfect, and you can squeeze it. Don't squeeze them too hard because you don't want to bruise it, you know, especially if you're not going to buy that one. You don't want someone else to get a bruised avocado.
And we also have Michael Gassell. He's a good evening chef.
Hello, Michael.
And we've got El Nino from Texas.
All right.
Howdy, El.
He's getting a new car.
He's
El
so-
Nino, what have you won? A new car!
Yes.
Nice. I think he ordered a new Jeep.
It is
Yes.
very pretty.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have Jeep people in the house, Neen. All right, guys. Here we go. Now, let me go tend to the meat. Yeah. How's that smelling over there?
Phenomenal.
Yeah, there's really nothing. So yeah, this is, you know, what you want to do is that brown sugar in the marinade is going to caramelize, and you just want to do keep turning, keep flipping, looking for that medium rare. These are awesome. I'm going to leave the cover off just a tad. We're going to get back to our guacamole. All right, so now
So
We
El got the Gladiator.
the Gladiator.
6 to 8 weeks.
Nice. Okay, so I have a whisk here. This is how I'm going to kind of mash the avocado to break it down into some smaller pieces. You want to use a whisk that's stiff, not flexible. And if you don't push too hard, you're not going to clog up the whisk. You really just want to break it up. You certainly could do this with a fork. Not a problem. Keep it as chunky or as smooth as you want. Nice.
I like the whisk idea. I've always used a fork.
This is beautiful. Okay, now we are going to take the onion and chili puree out of the mortar and pestle. And this, you know, I may have gone a little bit more if, you know, I wasn't trying to keep your attention. But that's okay. This looks really, really good. All right, that's in. That's down. And of course, we're going to need some lime juice and some salt. And I'm going to add these cilantro leaves. Now, if you remember in the mortar and pestle, I chopped the cilantro. These are whole cilantro leaves. I'm going to put them in. I'm not going to put in too much. It looks like I've got more than I really need here, but so I'm not going to use them all. I'm going to add more later if we need to. All right. Now we're going to put in a little bit of lime juice. That's going to keep your guacamole nice and green. I'm going to just mix this up. This looks amazing.
I'm just waiting for that to arrive on the table.
For a what?
I'm waiting for that to land on the
I just
table.
want to say, sitting here, it just smells amazing.
Oh, that's
Awesome.
nice.
So,
All right.
Yes, we've got.
Of course.
Yes, the
smoky
smoke.
bison.
The smoke
Nice.
is all going towards
Yes.
Yeah, we're good.
our guests.
And of course, you always want to season
Sorry.
your guacamole with some salt. It's it screams for salt.
Like mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mashed potatoes also scream for butter.
And gravy. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and taste this.
Yes.
Outstanding. This is going in the bowl. I'm hoping that by the time we're done shooting that there'll be some left to eat with the fajitas. But with these two, you never know. Three. With these three, you never know. All right. This is amazing. So simple, easy. Something you guys can definitely do at home. All right. Going down. This is going out to the table. Look at that.
Yum.
Fantastic. That is going over here. All right.
Eggs, lunch, dinner.
Yes. Okay. Now, we're going to pull the steaks, I do believe. They should be ready soon. Oh, yeah. Now we're cooking with gas. I want to flip my tortillas once again.
Oh yeah. Okay.
How's that, honey?
This guacamole is outstanding.
Told you not to tell me honey, that's not how you go.
Oh my God, really?
Nice.
Avocado for me?
Charcoal has woken up.
So you're not worried that the tortillas will get too toasted in there?
No, they're steaming in there.
That's cool.
So I'm going to see. There's a little. So I'm going to check with my internal thermometer here. Oh yeah, these are done. I'm pulling them. So we are pulling out. The marinade has beautifully caramelized. Nice. All right, I'm going to pull those tortillas also. I've got a little piece of aluminum foil. We're going to cover up the meat, kind of keep it warm. I am definitely not putting this on the table right now. We're going to come back to this and we're going to slice it up. And we are going to now move the tortillas off. I could probably use a plate for. I'm going to put that right there. Okay. Thank you. And we'll get to these later. Hot. And hot. Now I'm moving the cast iron skillet over the coals now. We're going to give that a minute just to heat up. I'm going to put that cover on. It's going to be ripping hot. And what we're going to do is we're going to char our vegetables. So these vegetables, typical fajita vegetables. We've got green pepper, yellow pepper, red pepper, onion. And these have been marinating, you know, I guess almost 8 hours now, in some of the fajita marinade, which had that brown sugar and the cumin and the spices. So this is going to be awesome. We're going to char these up in the cast iron skillet. Then I'm going to slice the meat, put it back in the cast iron skillet, and that skillet is what we are going to serve in. It's going to be awesome. Fantastic. All right. I guess that cast iron skillet is quite hot already. And in we go.
Wow.
Nice. That's a lot.
It really is.
So what's going to happen, of course, is they're going to break down a little bit. They're going to wilt. They're also picking up a lot of the smoke. So that's a beautiful thing. I'm going to cover it. We're going to do a little bit of cleanup. And do we have any more questions?
No questions right now, but we have. I see Sophie Eisenbud peeking in,
Hi, Soph.
and we also
Rockstar
have
kid.
Sabrina. She said, "Hey guys, wish I could be there."
Hi, Sabrina. I may even put a little bit of this lime juice on the veggies.
like it.
Yes, why not? Nice. Oh yeah. Beautiful thing. Nice. Hang this on the side. I don't want to burn your shoes.
I'm amused that I had this grill for a couple years. Like 5, say. Let's say a couple. I never knew that it actually had little hooks on the side. Yeah, I had no idea.
Take a little bit off the top because it's really not too much.
The lid hooks on the side. Oh no! I always put it on the ground.
Nice. I'll let some of that, some of the marinade kind of escape a little bit, so we get that crisp that we're looking for.
A little char on it.
Little char, little char. So again, on the vegetables, I did use white onion because it's a nice mild onion. Could use Spanish onion if you like it a little more tangy.
Is a Spanish onion yellow? Golden.
Spanish onion is those big, giant globe onions that you sometimes see in the store. Most supermarkets are selling regular yellow onion.
Mm-hmm.
So, nice. Looks great. Let's see what I can do here. I'm gonna pour off some of this marinade for the purposes of this video. Get things going a little bit. There we go.
So about how long does that cook?
This, you know, it could take, 6 minutes or so.
And do you need to cut the meat in the meantime, or does
Yep,
it?
I'm letting the meat rest while this goes.
Okay. Oh, that's right. So you have to let it rest for like 10 minutes. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
You don't want all that juice to pour off. Fantastic. I guess I should have added another dish. Got a little bit of downtime.
You could always do some more guacamole. 'Cause this is
Could do
like
more guacamole. I could juggle.
And we also
Talk about favorite, maybe Mexican restaurants in the area. Anyone?
I haven't been to many actually. You know, we go like for Tex-Mex, so there is a big difference. That's what I'll talk about. There's a big difference between Mexican and Tex-Mex. So obviously Tex-Mex is called Tex-Mex because it's from
Texas,
Texas and the Mexican border, and it's a kind of a hybrid of cuisines, you know. So then there's Mexican, which is moles and amazing tacos that are usually done with 2 corn tortillas and real simple carne asada and pork and tongue and all sorts of great things, and they just do simple onion, and they do cilantro, and usually it's served with a piece of cactus on the plate. That's really delicious. If you go to the authentic places, amazing. So, all right. Put this over here. No room. Okay.
we also have Sean Hill with us, and he loves his Weber kettle.
Awesome. Yeah, me too. Love it. So it's my intention to this summer do some open fire cooking. I received a cookbook from a chef friend who he gifted Lynn and I a cookbook. He's from Barcelona. He's from Argentina, but he's in Barcelona. You'll see him if you go to my website, www.eatingwithcheferic.com. Click on the drop-down menu on the right to travel and click on Barcelona, and you'll see Chef Danko. He had gifted us with an amazing cookbook from his mentor when he was in Argentina, and it's called 7 Fires, and it's all about cooking on an open fire. So it is my intention this summer, set up the fire pit and make different fires and cook different items. So hopefully you'll stay tuned for that.
We also have Ted Ushpaluzikan with us tonight. He says hello.
Hey Ted, thanks for joining us again. Alright, we're trying to get our vegetables going here. And they are going. Nice and hot. Alright. I'm going to slice the meat. Let's see what we have here. Now, skirt steak. Skirt steak is a long strip of meat. So this is a 5-inch piece. This is another piece. So these are all one piece. It's like a strip. That's what they call it, strip steak.
Did you cut them down?
I did cut them down to marinate them. So, thing about skirt steak, it has a very pronounced grain. Let me move this. Okay, you might want to come close to this thing. So you got a very pronounced grain in skirt steak. It goes across like this. All right, so if I were to cut the skirt steak in strips like this, it would be very, very tough. So what you want to do always is cut. So I will cut this into 2 pieces, like this. Check our doneness, beautiful. And I will turn it and cut across the grain. So if I cut directly across the grain, it's going to be very, very tender. If I put a little bit of a bias on it, you're going to get in between. So I like a little bit of chew, so I am going to cut the skirt steak at a little bit of an angle and kind of get the best of both worlds. And of course,
What kind of knife you using there, Chef?
this is my Bison.
Beautiful.
This is always my go-to
And
knife.
they cut that like butter.
Oh yeah, and this steak is like butter. So
Butter.
I'm going to try it. I'm very excited about that. Out of control. So right off the bat I get sweetness, but I also get a slight gamey. Don't get me wrong, it's not super gamey. I get a slight gaminess from the bison. And bison is a very lean meat. So, and skirt steak is probably one of the fattier cuts from the bison on any cow actually, or any buffalo. So I'm going to continue to cut these. I like cutting them on the bias. It really gives it just enough chew. So not offensive. This is beautiful, medium rare. The meat is a little bit darkened from the soy sauce, which is awesome.
Can you repeat again what was in your marinade?
The marinade was soy sauce, and it was canola oil, and it was cumin, and some black pepper, and let's see, this is going that way, so I'm going right across it. Awesome. And again, it's marinated for 8 hours. Beautiful thing. And it's, Mark is right. It's cutting like butter. Right through the char. It's a beautifully charred piece. These are going to be good. Let me give my veggies a little stir. There we go. Now we're getting a little bit of char on those onions and peppers. Awesome. Cast iron skillet's perfect for this. Absolutely perfect. And I didn't use a carbon steel because I wasn't sure if I was going to add the lime juice, and you don't want to add an acidic element to a carbon steel pan. So absolutely perfect. You can see beautiful char happening on the red peppers. You can see that.
Yep.
Awesome. Alright, back to our final piece here. This is really nice and charred. Yeah. Flip it. Gorgeous. You know, and if you're not sure about the grain, just check, double check. Check twice, cut once, you know? Alright. Fantastic. Couple more pieces. Gorgeous. All right, we are almost done here. Now some of the sugars have come out of the vegetables. Move the veggies over, and we're going to put the steak right in there. Look at that. The steak's going to warm up. Alright. Get those juices in there. Wow. It's awesome. Are you seeing this, honey?
Mm-hmm.
You too?
Yes, yes, honey.
All right.
Yes.
Lots of honeys in the
It smells
room.
great. It looks great.
All right, so
I can't
let me
wait.
have the tortillas, please. I just want to make sure that they're still hot. Right here. Thank you. Oh yeah, they're beautiful. So I'm going to make one. I'm going to use a flour tortilla. Yeah, these are beautiful, pliable, and warm. And these can go back on.
Sometimes you could throw it like on a fire and char it.
I'm going to put the cast iron skillet right there. I do need a little bit of cheese, please. All right, here we go, guys. It has come to that part of the evening. Thank you.
The eating part?
We've got a little cheese. I need a little sour cream. I take some of my veggies. Thank you.
I know.
Put
You
some
need
veggies.
guacamole in that too?
I do need guacamole. Is there any left?
No, there's none left.
There's none left.
Nope. You're missing.
Mark, how to make sure you got this like one last bite.
I'm going to move this off the coals.
One by your own is here.
We're going to take some of this beautiful bison, again from our friends at Fossil Farms. I'm going to put a little pinch of cheese on there. Should get nice and melty. A little bit of sour cream, not too much. I'm always one that overloads my burritos, my whatever it is that I'm rolling in a tortilla, little guac, and the hot sauce, please. Yes, you guys drank all that too.
You didn't make this one though.
No, this I didn't make. I found this at the Mexican market. It's a El Yucatel. It's a great brand. This is their Chipotle. I'm going to put a little bit of that on. It is hot.
Pretty hot one.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't be eating that one.
All right, I like to roll the bottom.
And he's making a burrito.
I'm gonna roll it up just like a burrito. If you roll the bottom, it doesn't fall all over the place. All right, guys, here we go.
There you go. He's making a gyro burrito.
Look at that.
Okay, what's the difference between a burrito and a fajita?
I don't know.
Can you see this?
Oh, burrito is stuffed
Yes.
with rice.
All right,
Yes.
I'm going in.
You're not even close.
I'm going in.
You need to get,
Oh, I need to get back.
yes.
All right. How's that?
Now we're getting close. Yeah.
Mmm.
Hear that thing sizzling. Is it any good, hon?
Oh,
Survey says
amazing. So we're going to close by saying this is definitely something you guys can do at home. You don't have to do it on the charcoal, but charcoal makes it better. You can do it on the stovetop. Marinate your skirt steak, bison or not bison, it's regular. Make sure you cut it against the grain. Marinate those vegetables in some of the steak marinade, a couple hours. Do them in a cast iron skillet. Get a nice char on there. Warm your tortillas. Have the accoutrement, the accompanying items. The fresh guacamole I made in minutes. Some cheese, some sour cream. We've got Pico de Gallo. Amazing. Just put it together. This can be done quickly on any night of the week, or make it a hangout, a party on a weekend with your friends. Do it. It's awesome. So again, I want to express my gratitude towards you. Thank you for putting up with me being out of the kitchen element a little bit this week, and doing the best we can out here. And that's it. I want you to eat well. I want you to be well. I want you to be kind. And we will see you next week, where we have a visitor from the UK.
Yes, we do.
So you know what we're going to do? We're going to do something cool.
Another one.
And
Yes.
Fossil Farms. Check out their very high quality stuff. You won't be disappointed. And we'll see you next week, guys. Peace.